yesterday, man.
Yesterday you called me too.
No, I ran into the store and you was talking to Pigeon.
Oh yeah. I told you I was like, yo, even though I'm blooded out of Just Us, I still want to fucking kick it with you if you're down.
Bro, there's no one in Just Us right now.
All right.
So I don't think it's just you.
All right. Well, I mean, look, listen,
I got something special for side too, you know?
listen. I met up with you only twice. Once by the Vinewood Sun, where you told me I betrayed you, and then you drove off. And then the second
Wait, do you
time,
understand that though, right?
yeah. And then the second time was when you blooded me out and took my chain. So that's the only two times that I've kicked it with you. We didn't like hang out to do, anything other than that. So what I wanted to say was, even though that there's no Just Us, I still want to kind of kick it with you, you know,
Hell yeah.
if you want to.
No, man, I'm down, bro. I'm just, I was just, it was my first day back, and then, I'm thinking I'm coming back to a gang, and
No, I understand your point of view. Like it sucks because like what you're saying makes complete sense, and I fucking hate the fact that the crew didn't stay back to get stay back and fucking try to make something because even though what you started should have been enough for us to like continue because we already have like the Justice name. By the time that you left, we already had it enough to like we had enough connections to just say, yo, I'm Just Us, hook me up with this thing, I'll do this for you. We had the inroads, the doors were open for us, right? I agree. And I keep coming back to this, but it was it was hard because we couldn't, without your approval, we couldn't just say to someone, yo, you're part of us now, you know? And, uh, those, and that's what basically happened,
yeah. And I get it. I like I said, I've had some time to like really sit down. Like I've been kind of just been by myself, as you see. I'm by myself now. Um, I've
I
had
have a
time.
question though.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's say that you came back into the city, you wanted to start Just Us back up again. Like Mateo and everyone shows up, Cash shows up. How would you feel if I just told the crew that I'm currently hanging out with, yo, Zoe's back in town and I'm taking off? Like what kind of person would that make me to turn my back on? So the way that I see loyalty is you can be loyal to a crew, but when the crew disappears, you can't not be loyal to the people that aren't there anymore. So how would you feel like about me just saying turning my back on the people that did decide to say, you know what, let's make something new. you know we know that your crew disappeared.
Like
I
pretty
mean,
much they had your back when like no one was around, type
yeah.
shit. Yeah, no, I get it.
And it puts me in a spot where I was when you first came back. I was like, yeah, I want to be Just Us. And you know what's even crazier is the my crew said, yo, we're whatever you decide to do, like we'll understand. If you want to leave, do it. And I think it was Sidwig was the only person in the city that kind of made me slow down a bit, slow my roll a little bit, and realize like, yo, you're gonna look really bad if you just decide to turn your back on the people that took you in and just say later, I'm joining Just Us. So, what do you
I
think?
beg to differ.
Okay, how do you see that though?
Well, it's kind of like it's all about like kind of like what your gang stands on, right? Um, I put it like this, right? So I'm a firm dude. Like like when it comes to this like gang crew shit, like like it's principles over everything. You get what I'm saying? So you know, in my point of view, what y'all did in the first place was unjust. So pretty much like whatever you do after that, how can I, you know what I mean? It was unjust in the beginning. So like, you know, but then also I look at it in your perspective is like, oh, everybody left, blah blah blah. But and you know, a lot of
Hmm.
people have told me like, yo, you know, Aaron was saying it, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And what I'm trying to say is I understand your perspective, but uh, yeah, like you know, your gang, your origin you come from, you know, you don't know. It's kind of like you think someone. It's kind of like having a wife, right? And you
Yeah.
think she died. You know, you haven't seen her in
And then
months.
you marry someone
You
else, and
marry
then your
someone
wife.
else, and then your true love comes back. Like, are you wrong for going back to your true love? No, you didn't. You just it was just a shitty circumstance.
Really?
Yeah,
I never thought of it that way.
but I wouldn't ask you guys to leave. I wouldn't ask Side to leave. Because at the same time, I don't know what I'm doing. I literally like I'm lost.
I understand. I feel like, and you have to agree with me on the fact that if justice was around, if what happened didn't happen to you, and just one day I decided to bounce, like I would completely understand the whole thing. But that's not what happened. People just decided to stop showing up, and I feel like if I had the authorization, because the way that Chucky left, because I thought Chucky was going to take over, right? But Chucky
Mm.
decided to not show up either, right?
Yeah, which I
And
found out too. I found out all these different moving elements. You know, like when I first talked to you guys, I didn't know everything. You know.
wait, who was third in charge after, or who was in charge after Chucky?
Oh, it'd probably been like I would probably say two. You know.
And he decided to stop showing up. So who was after that?
Nah, I don't know. David, Sai,
David.
all of them.
Okay, so with David still showed up to the city, and we kept like doing banks, and it was just like me and David that would do banks because Cy didn't want to come because he wanted to stay clean,
And
warehouse,
now
all
he's a
that
full
shit,
time
right?
criminal. Crazy. That's crazy. It's
Well,
crazy, man.
I feel like a lot of time in the city, because it used to be where I would just wake up and I would just do dodo and then I would go back to sleep. I literally had the lamest life because I always thought that one day it was gonna start back up again as soon as you showed back up in the city. And I understand that like you want to come back into the city and you want the $4 million bank account. You want us to all be driving S plus cars, and that would have been a thing had I feel like if I took control of the situation and I said, "Yo, Sai, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start adding people to the crew. We already have the fucking the Just Us name, right? People know who the fuck we are. People would want to join, but I always had that feeling in the back of my mind that if I took control of it and I start adding people to the crew, when you arrive back, you would be like, "Yo, Aaron, what the fuck? None of these people I approved." And it would have been a whole, so that's why. Am I wrong in thinking that, or you would have been fine had you come back and none of the people that stayed in the apartments. I'm not talking about those guys, but like if it was just me and Sai, and then like I added like five other, at least four other people that we could like, boost and do runs or whatever, and then you'd come back and you'd see like a kind of a new crew of people, right? But you would come back to having a $4 million bank account. We'd fucking welcome you with open arms, but it'd be just a bunch of people that never met you before. Would that have been something that you'd wanted to see?
I think I know what you're saying. Like because I know what you're like. I understand what you're saying. Like I would have been like, what the fuck? Like what is this? Because I care. But like I said, if I came back to and I'm like, okay, this is 4 million. I'm not just saying like I'm using your example. I'm not saying money, but
Yeah.
I would say, okay, well, at least Aaron did a good job and he has some type of operation that's functional. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, for you to be stacked up and holding down a name and everything to be, and me just coming back and everything's just good, that means you have a good team and you pick good people to like, you know, have a functional operation. And the guys that did leave obviously don't know how to function an operation. So I would definitely appreciate that. But I understand what you're saying because it's like, damn, like I'm not sure if I should do this because of
Yeah.
this and this and this and this.
So hypothetically, wait, now I forgot what I was gonna ask. Fuck.
You said hypothetically what? Like you're talking about like a scenario.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, hmm, I totally forgot what I was gonna ask you now. Fuck. Oh, okay. So this is what I was going to ask you. I talked to Sai about this before. Let's say hypothetically, right? I'm not saying that you're going to do this, but if you were to bring back Just Us and all the old people that used to roll with Just Us, I'm talking like Sai, Cass, Mateo, all these guys, right?
Yeah,
We all, what would make it? What would you change to make what has happened not
happen
happen
again.
again?
Yeah,
And then, this is just hypothetical,
yeah,
right? I'm
yeah.
not saying you will, but what would be the different move? Like,
Just good questions actually.
would you just say, okay, well, if I drop, if I'm not around, the next guy in charge is going to be the guy to add people to the crew to do operations over, because I feel like the way that when you left, there was no contingency plan. You understand?
Yeah, exactly. And
So what would
that that
that
that that is a
what
very
would you
good question.
change to make that not happen again? Hypothetically, if you were to start it back up again.
I yo that and you know what's funny because you asked that question is kind of why I'm acting the way I am now because why I feel lost because it's gonna take me a while to figure it out. Because I wouldn't want to go back to that again because it didn't work.
Exactly.
It was a struggle within the beginning in the first place, and why would I make that same combination again? You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
and
Fool
then
me
it's like
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right.
exactly. So it's like I don't want to just be the one carrying like just us on his back. I want it to be everybody's carrying their own weight. So yeah, like look like Royal Mafia, right? They had a leader back in the days. They was called Zoo
Zoo
Mafia.
Mafia.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they still Sidwick was just like he was just a soldier, but he stayed down and he built himself up, and I respect that, because that's dedication. Like I definitely think if I did build the brand again, it would definitely be a lot of changes and a lot of not of the same people. I'm just being I'm keeping it 100, bro. Like if
Right.
like
So one thing that I noticed that was really bad with the crew when you were still 8 months ago is everyone followed you, right? Like everyone had to be with you. Nobody fucked with other crews. So when you weren't around, the crew wasn't around. I mean, other than David and Sai, like that's what happened. You created just a bunch of followers that would just follow wherever you went. And I know it sounds kind of rude to say, but like that's
oh, you're
what was
speaking you're
happening.
speaking your opinion.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably not like a healthy, way of
Yeah, cuz
conducting business.
I've been around like, since I've been back, I've been around like the street team, CG a lot, and like everybody does their own thing, and that's what makes them a strong team. Like everybody has
Right.
their individual thing. Like for me, it was just like I was doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Like so
Exactly.
it's like even down to like the connects, the coke, the music. It was just
Yup.
like
Yup.
yo,
Yup.
zo, and
Yeah. I mean, if you're building a team, you need the people, the individuals, to be okay with being alone in the city with not their crew and still fucking around with other people. And then once the crew wants to assemble, you have the crew assemble. And that's not what we had. We didn't have when Zoe wasn't around. It didn't work. And so
Yeah.
that's what happened, you know. Bunch of people stayed in their apartments, and I feel like the real ones decided to stay back in the city, and especially Cy and me and David were like the only three guys that kind of like for a few months afterwards, because everyone, you know, we all thought that, oh, this is just going to be a temporary thing. We didn't think it was going to last as long as it did,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. No, and that's his thing. It's like, you know, motherfuckers will fly in for 2 days and be like, "Oh, I've been," you know what I'm saying, rather than like, uh, holding it down. You know, like
Well, one thing I loved was Cass, right? Cass would fly in like
build
every
up
now
all the
and then. He
walls
was like,
around the
"Yo, you
tower.
tell anyone you're
Yeah, for
just
real.
us, and they'll fucking do anything for you." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right." But I always had that feeling like, when's that gonna run out, right? Because one day it was just gonna run out, and people are gonna be like, "Just us, just who? I'm just gonna shoot you. How about that?" You know? Because if someone were to
Yeah,
fuck with us, with me or Cy or Cass, like, where is my crew? Like, who do I call on to like, yo, this guy's fucking with me. You know, who do I go to?
one
Yeah,
of them.
oh, the people that decide to stay in an apartment, or you know,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah. Nah, like you
so
know, like again, and then you know, we had a couple add-ons, you know, and they flaked right away, like right
the
away.
DB
So
boys, right?
there's a few of them, and you know, like Terry and shit. So you know, it was just, oh, let me just do this for like pretty much like, cause I can ride this wave until, you know. And yo,
You're right.
I ain't even mad at it, cause it's like that was like my judge of character that was wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? But like moving forward, like I said, if I
But you
decide,
can't tell that. You can't tell
you kind of can.
when, yeah. Mm.
Oh my gosh, love.
It's kind of hard to
How
tell
you
what's
doing?
going to
How you doing, mama?
happen when like, is it going to live on if something were to ever happen to you?
Well. The thing is, man, like
How do you test that?
how do you, okay, so you can't really test that, but you also have to be, like I said, being in being on that island, that shit was cold as fuck. Like, it's not the hot island. They sent me to like some Russian island type shit, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
shit.
Yeah, 23-hour lockdown. Like, you could see a little outside, but it's just like walls, and it's fucking cold as shit. And
Fuck,
yeah,
man.
so you get to like, you get to
And then you get out and there's nothing for you.
so
And I
so so
understand
so
that.
I was getting a couple letters where it was like, yo, like, so I felt a couple things, you feel me? But like, just coming
Mhm.
back and then being like, damn, like, yo, my crew ain't here, like, that's crazy. Like, so when did they leave? And then, a couple people were telling me like the only person they seen around was Aaron. Right?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. A couple people said this was after we spoke. The first day I was, I got, I'm like still like I'm like traumatized and shit. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yo, damn, like, so it was just really me pulling the whole weight on my back. So that's why I'm like, yo, moving forward, like, I'm just gonna like, I'm just gonna like I'm worrying about Zoe right now, and I'm gonna build Zoe, and whatever happens around that happens. Do do I love Just Us? Do I love what we could have had? Yes.
Yeah.
But
Same.
everybody should have loved it the same way I loved it, and then it would have been no problem.
You're
Don
right.
K, what's
You're
up, brother? Even
100%
Zolo,
right.
I heard almost all your music
We
now,
could
and
have
it's lit,
been
bro. And I'm
we could
enjoying and
have
watching RP. Keep it up.
really
Appreciate you,
been
brother.
something.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, what I'm saying, like a bad bitch you fell in love with, but she was for the streets. What you gonna do, man? You gonna cry about it, or you gonna accept it and push on, bro? It just happens. It's part of the game, man. Sometimes we gotta go through these lessons to, find who we really are. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the vibe I'm on. I'm finding myself right now, bro. And I'm gonna continue to just and to the guys who feel bad about it, you know what I'm saying, and wanna, really want it, they can show it, but like, I've gotta build, like, I know motherfuckers be saying they a boss, but like, my mentality is to lead. I'm a leader, you know what I'm saying? It's just in me. I lead, because
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to be like, oh, let me go to another crew or let me do this, because it's like, bro, I'm a leader by nature, and I like to go against the odds. I like to be like, fuck it, like, yo, we from the bottom, we gonna take this shit to the top. I don't give a fuck how long it takes. But yo, you can't even get motherfuckers on the train, bro.
Yeah.
So what do we do now? You know, and like again, yo, you know,
We figure it out.
I'm also gonna apologize to you, because you know the way I treated you the other day wasn't right. You know, like you said, you was kind of the only one here, but it's just because I heard like, you know, what really triggered me was like the whole yo, I'm in a new gang type shit. That's just like that really triggered me, because it's like that's not like my origin. It's like what the fuck you mean, like, you know what I'm saying? This is like, you know, you gotta die in this shit type shit. You feel me?
I understand. I understand that. Yeah, you're right. I apologize for, you know what? I apologize for not trying a little harder. Um, I feel like I had the opportunity to continue it, but it would have had to be adding people without your consent, and just hoping that once you return, you wouldn't. I felt like you'd be madder if I added some fucking bozos to the
You gotta make just us full of grinders.
yeah, I
Like what
probably
the
would.
fuck?
You know what? I probably would. And they'd be like, oh man, back when Zoe was running Justice, it was so much better. I didn't want to tarnish the name, you
Nah,
know?
nah, nah.
But
And I, like I said, I respect you for even thinking on that level, like, because you know the
yeah,
name means a lot to me, you know.
yeah, exactly.
But it's crazy because you know you don't want a crew full of grinders, but maybe that was just the time to be like, hey, let's just build, and then you know, because you want some grinders, you want some people, because like you said, the guys in the crew, they were lazy. They were like, some of these guys didn't have fucking. You had to give them money to get guns and stuff. I'm not doing all that shit again. Like, yo,
Right.
I want, yo, we was doing the whole coke. You know, we're doing the whole pushing the coke back. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
coke in the city wasn't really like, motherfuckers didn't really care about that. So we was like really going out there. Well, I was really going out there and just like, and that's how I really network with a lot of these gangs, because I'd be talking to these gangs and being like, yo, you know, I'd find out who's in war and be like, yo, I could supply you with this. And then they'd be like, well, I
Mm-hmm.
normally get it for this. And I'm like, well, I give you, and yo, sometimes I wasn't even making profit, but it was just the fact of like, it was building the connects and building the strong. So it's like, yo, I
Understand
go
that.
I go to Just Us because they have it, but now it's like I'm not in the city and they calling and motherfuckers just don't want to do the work, and that's, and to point blank is, it's just fucking laziness, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants the perks, but no one wants to put in the work, and that's what I
You know,
don't
if
want
there's
around me.
one guy, fucking Psy, he kept the Scorpion business alive.
Yeah, like we got a
He
Scorpion
always
business.
did.
I forgot we got a Scorpion business from Seaside. Like what happened to that? Like we that's why I said I thought I was coming back to being like, yo, we the plug. Like, yo, we run it, we holding down the city, we holding down this type of guns. Yo, like motherfuckers not messing with it. That's what I thought I was coming back to be honest with you, brother. And you know what I'm
You
saying?
have a point there. You straight up have a point. There's nothing I can say against that. You should have been able to come back and have a thriving
Think
crew.
think about it right like this, right? Put it in my perspective. If you took a flight right now and you was gone for 8 months, what the fuck do you think you would have came back to?
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect a
You
fucking
would have came
crew
back,
full of
yeah. You
people.
would have came
Yeah,
back to everything. Oh, this is our new block. This is that. We got this, yo. We holding this down. We got. You
yup,
would came back to everything. We would have picked you up at the airport with a Lambo, just ready to transfer in
yup,
your name, type shit.
yup.
You know, 8 months is a long time, bro. It's a long
It
fucking
is.
time, bro. Especially in this city, that's like 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Well, so what's the next step? You're just gonna try to figure out what's what?
Yeah, like I'm just like you know, it's been what, 4 days, 5 days. Like I just don't know where I fit in right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna like do me. Like if it's just
Yeah,
me, if it's just me, it's just gonna be me, and that's gonna be, you know, that's gonna be my path. You know, and you know, this is like I already been at the bottom. I already been at nothing. So this is just more like this is like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've been through the worst. This is just another temporary moment. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know they say, you know, most of the times, you know, if you're ignorant to learning lessons, you got to go through the hard times to learn the lessons. You get what I'm saying? So it was clearly a
Yep.
lesson I didn't learn, or I wasn't trying to learn. So, you know, now I got to go through it, you know, and I come back to nothing, you know. But you
Yeah.
know, like I said, Psy, you know, you and Psy, I honestly think Psy's a great fit for Royal Mafia.
Yeah.
Like he kind of fits in well. Like, you know, they seem like they take care of him. They seem like they support him. Like you know, like for me to come back and be like, yo, I want y'all back. Nah, nah, nah. It's just kind of weird, you know. It's kind of like,
It is weird because the same shit would fucking happen. Like, no, no. I'm saying if something were to happen to you, the same shit would happen. You know,
yeah,
probably.
exactly.
So it's like I wouldn't even. I'm gonna keep it aside. I wouldn't even want to leave my crew, knowing that that's what happened before. Why wouldn't it happen again? You know, if we don't have a, if there's not a crew full of people that are willing to continue, you know, the name, then it, you know, it would make no sense. It's hard. I think that running a crew is extremely difficult, and that's why I never wanted to be the leader of a crew. It's hard work. You know, it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk
Yeah.
because you need people with a certain type of mentality, and I don't think that the crew had that type of mentality.
Yeah. Nah, they didn't.
You know,
Back to the old ways.
yeah, I gotta be honest. I miss the old days though, where like the come up was so fucking surreal that I feel like had we had like another month, like we'd straight up be a force to be reckoned with. I remember sitting. I don't know if you remember this, but I remember sitting at Ulu, and it was me, Mateo, and you, and we're talking with each other, and fucking Rami shows up out of nowhere, and you talk to Rami, and at the end of the conversation, he's like, "Hey, I'll get those Just Us chains started." Like, yo, we're so close. Like, we almost even had, you know, our own, you know, custom chains from the Jewel Dragon. You know,
Yeah.
like we're so
Now I'm
close.
just gonna get a Zolo chain. Fuck it. First rapper in the city to get a chain.
Yeah. Yo, we're so close, man.
Big Z.
You realize that how close we were to like
Yeah,
just
but
get
it's good though because
to have everything.
yeah, it's good though in a way because now I get to see everything. You know, I get to see everything in full circle rather than I'm thinking these motherfuckers is with me and they really not. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, like now, like
I,
if because
I was
eventually
with you. I it's just like just
eventually I'll build it. Eventually I will rebuild something, you know, one day. And
mm,
you know, the way I'm gonna do it is gonna be completely different, you know? It's not just like, yo, you just like you gotta prove yourself. Like ain't no
yo.
2 weeks improving yourself.
One thing that I didn't kind of agree with was that time where like a couple days ago where I saw you at Maldini's, and Randy said apologize to Zoe. I was like, all right, fine, I'll apologize to Zoe. And then they're like, no, you got to get on your knees and apologize. And I'm like, I I feel like I was a bit. I have a bit more pride than that, you know. I feel like because of what happened,
Bro, we was just trolling you, man. You know that.
yeah.
Don't take it personal.
Well, you got your entire life ahead of you. I mean, literally, you can do whatever, right? You can do anything now. I mean, you can do it the way that you wanted to do it. Now that you've learned the lesson of, what happens when you, I feel like today you would be a better judge of character and you would organize it better, and the expectations would be there today than than they were in the past. Because in the past, the expectation, because nobody. I remember when you disappeared, like it was just that day. It was just like no more, you know, no more crew just like showing up regularly.
Yeah, I heard, and
It
I
vanished
I
like
think I think
almost
I
immediately.
think like I'm just gonna have a like kind of like everybody in my crew, the next crew I do build is gonna have like a gift, a talent, something. You know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna have their own kind of superpower. So, not just a bunch of just like uh, you know, like so it's more collectively we all have the same interest aligned. And it's just a valuable lesson I learned in life. A valuable fucking lesson. And like I said, today, it's definitely gonna be different. And it's gonna take me a while. Like obviously, I have an ego, so I had to get out of my ego. I had to get out of my feelings. Because sometimes my ego gets the best of me. So it was just like pretty much when I was coming back, I was just like, yo, fuck these guys, fuck them all. Then
And,
I wanted to
and you
kill
had a
everybody,
point. You
and
had a
then
point though, because you came back to fucking nothing. Like it is what you literally came back to nothing. Like you got us to where we needed to be. We had the connections, the doors were open to us, and we just squandered that opportunity. Obviously, when you came back, I understand the way that you felt, because it makes sense. Like, yo, I did all this shit for you guys, and you guys could have carried on the name, but you decided not to. And so I don't fucking blame you at all
and now
with
and now I'm
your
back, and now it's like, oh, it's just us back. It's like, what? Yo, y'all
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you,
You
man.
guys are
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I
At
mean,
this
and
point, that's almost disrespect.
yeah, it is. It really is. Like, we had all the fucking doors open. You had all the fucking connects. We probably could have walked up to any crew. I mean, I did walk up to like any crew. Like fucking anytime I dealt with anyone and I mentioned Just Us. Oh, yo, I remember Zoe. He's a good friend of mine. Like literally, whenever I mentioned the Just Us name, uh, they were like, "Oh yeah," it was like always a positive thing. Like it got me in the it got my foot in the door a couple times after you left. I'm willing to admit that. And but it wasn't just me, it was everyone had that opportunity to continue using the Just Us name to get their foot in the door throughout the city, and they didn't want to. They just they just stopped.
Yeah. Well, um, we gonna get it back, bro. And honestly, like, I think my best revenge will be my success. So,
Yeah.
um, you know, the whole point of like creating Just Us was from another crew. Like a lot of us was in, and the crew had left, and we was by ourselves, and we're like, fuck, I guess it's just us, like. And I was like, yeah, like I think we should just like stand on that. And that's how the name derived from, and now it's just me.
Yep.
Just me.
When Zolo shoots, you better duck. If you got an issue,
uh,
you know it's us.
I think I'm gonna have
Or
like more girls in my crew, because girls are more reliable. To be honest with you.
yeah.
Yeah, and then if a girl switches sides, it's less hurtful because it's like, all right, whatever. Which you know what I'm saying. When you're
Yeah, it
when
makes
you're
complete sense.
yeah, when a dude does it, it's like shit. God damn. I got a contract. I don't know. You want to do it?
um, do you have a hacking device?
I have a tracking device. I don't think you need a hacker on this one. It's exemplar or whatever. Exemplar or whatever.
Do you have an advanced lockpick?
Yes,
Have
I
you
do.
been to jail yet?
Yeah, I went to jail once, and
Um,
this cop was flirting with me. I ain't even gonna lie. She was sweet. I was like,
oh yeah. Do you remember what her name was?
Charlotte, son.
Oh no! Yo, that's PG-18's leader, fucking girl.
Yeah. Well, she was flirting hard, and I was like, at first I was like, am I catching the drift? Because I'm like, she was like saying some stuff. And I'm like, ah. I'm like, yo, it's like Shorty trying to like slide, but then I was like, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be cool with it. And then she was like, "Oh, put your number in yellow pages because I can't take your number here." I was like, "Oh, all right, cool, cool, my girl." But yeah, she cute. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got no time for no girls and shit like that. But the only thing is like she works at PD, so it's good to have
Yeah,
someone in
yep,
there.
yep. That's exactly yeah. Wait, so
Bro, what the fuck is?
Lee
It's
saying
PG
that shit.
13, man. It's not PG 18. Wait, is it PG 18?
He literally, before he goes to
Wait.
sleep every day, he calls her to say that he's going to sleep. She works at Hard On Tools, and yeah, she's a police officer.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Did you do that on purpose to talk to
Bro,
Charlotte?
I don't know nothing about your crew, bro. I don't know nobody or nothing in your crew, so I
Oh,
definitely
okay.
don't know who,
I'm fucking dead.
you know what I'm saying? She might want to taste a big Zoe. What can I say, bro?
I'm fucking dead,
So what's
dude.
your crew? A bunch of grinders or what? Tell me about them.
Yeah, pretty much.
How many's in your crew?
Well, we got Maddie, we got Lee, we got Benny, we got Jesse. Jesse's a really good shooter.
Hmm.
Um, we boost so much that sometimes we can't do a B, or a C. We boost so much that I'm S plus now.
I'm
We
S
we did
plus
a
too.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, we did a contract the other day with Chawa. We did another contract with Rami. Yeah, we just do a lot of boosting, and then obviously we also do like some of the we're marijuana enthusiasts. If you know what
Oh,
I'm
so like what's
catch
y'all got
myself.
a block? Like what's your goals?
Yeah, we have a block. It's by the taxi stand. We fought Mortel for the block, which is
What, the girl
interesting.
gang?
Yes.
Damn, y'all out here fighting girls? That is crazy.
Yo, listen, we're a small crew, like we're just chipping away at it, but yeah, no, we fought Mortel for our block, and yeah, they pretty much like ended the war,
Hmm.
and they said, "Oh, you can have this." We're like, "Cool." All we needed was just a block. Like we just want a place to just have of our own.
Yeah, that was
And
nice. That's nice.
yeah, so they kind of gave it to us like out of their kindness a little bit, and then we actually became really good
So,
friends.
like, what would you consider yourself? You're more of like a boosting, growing crew.
Currently, yes,
Oh,
we don't
okay.
do anything else. We don't do banks. We don't have a flag. We don't have yeah. We
That's
don't.
good. That's good. That's good.
But I mean, like when you left, I know like Ant joined Street Team, and I didn't feel right about joining. It had to be an it had to be something new. I didn't want to join Royal Mafia because they already had their shit, right? So that's the reason I joined, WH Omega Lol, as one would say. you know, because I always thought that JustUS was about not. I mean, sure, you can take advice from like other people, but earning it is better than getting it given, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's why I didn't want to join. Like, I had like offers to join. Like, I had this guy that said, "Hey, I know Justice left." I mean, here's the thing: a lot of people knew that the crew was kind of like, dissolving a little bit, and people came up to me and they're like, because they knew Just Us, they knew the name, right? And they're like, "Yo, if you want me to put in some word and you want to meet up with the crew, I can get you a meeting, right?" And I had that told to me by Mayhem. I had
Ugh.
that told to me by HOA. Obviously, Royal Mafia said, "Come home," many times, but I didn't want, and like I said, I didn't want to join anyone that was actually even known. It had to be something brand new. So, that's why I made the decision that I did to kind of join a brand new crew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
I
respect
don't
that.
know if I don't know if you care, but
No, no,
yeah,
I respect that. You
that
said,
was
"Yo,
my
I want to
thought
start my
process.
own shit," like type shit.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to like join. I know from Street Team. I don't know. So everyone in Street Team right now?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you know who Didi is?
DD?
Yeah, old BCG guy.
Nah.
Well, yeah, he was like, I could get you a meeting to like introduce you to some people.
DD.
And every time I had the offer to get introduced to, you know, a big crew, I definitely turned it down every single time because I didn't want.
If you good
I
baddies had
needed.
them on torn
I
tail.
wanted to earn it. And
Yeah.
I felt like the way to earn it was to be with a new crew. But anyways, yeah, you want to do that, A?
Yeah. Let's go. I might get. I don't think I'm gonna need a hacking device, am I?
It's a 50-50.
Let me drop this